Welcome to Fat Can 2. You joined me a little later than I'd originally intended to update this series, and there's a reason for that. As I start putting this video together, I'm roughly 3 weeks away from the marathon and have just begun my taper. I haven't picked up any injuries, but the journey to the start line has been far from straightforward. The last time we met, I'd just finished phase A of my training plan and was moving into phase B, building towards 3-hour-long runs. And honestly, things were going brilliantly. Within a couple of weeks, I'd got to 3 hours on my feet. I was recovering well and my pace was improving across both my easy zone 2 running and my threshold sessions. For a little while, everything seemed to be coming together. Then, on the very first day of phase C, my priorities changed. Over the following 5 weeks, a series of completely unrelated and incredibly stressful and tragic events unfolded. I'm not going to go into the details here. There were things that needed my attention, and quite rightly, running moved down the list of priorities. The structured marathon training plan became something very different. Instead of long runs and carefully planned sessions, I was fitting in 4 or 5 kilometres wherever I could, around caring for my family, around life admin, around simply being there for the people who needed me. And that's something you don't necessarily see when you look at someone's running journey from the outside. This is the stuff that no one sees. You see the run, you see the distance, you see the pace, you might see the race at the end of it all. But you don't always see everything that had to happen around those things to make them possible. Eventually, I reached a point where I could start training properly again. But by then, I had just 4 weeks left to do what I could. So that's what I did. I didn't try and make up for the training I'd missed. I didn't try and cram 5 weeks of marathon training preparation into 4. I simply did the best I could with the time, energy and circumstances I had. And that's where we are now. The marathon is still on, but the goal has changed. This is no longer about a particular time. It's about getting to that start line, enjoying the experience and getting myself to the finish. And I genuinely believe I can do that. I might be considerably slower than I would have been with 5 more weeks of uninterrupted preparation, but that's okay, because perhaps this journey has turned into something slightly different from what I originally intended. I started this series wanting to show you what it looks like for a slower, larger runner to train for and complete a marathon, and I still hope it does that, but perhaps it also shows something else, that preparation isn't always perfect. Life doesn't always follow the training plan. Sometimes the long run gets missed. Sometimes the easy run becomes a 5-kilometre jog. And sometimes running has to take a backseat completely. And that's okay. Because the goal isn't to have the perfect training journey. It's to do the best you can with what you've got in the moment you're in. Sometimes that means pushing yourself to do something difficult. And sometimes it means putting running aside and stepping up for the people who matter most. Both of those things are part of the journey. So, 3 weeks from now, I'll be standing on that start line. And honestly, I can't wait. The training hasn't gone exactly how I planned, but I'm still here. I'm still running. And I'm going to run that marathon. I'll see you there.